What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 54 Yards. Another week, another day we're closer to the end of the season. Sorry. Season's flying by. I just had to say it. I apologize.
Flying too fast.
Coming off a big one for us, Oklahoma, not so much in a bad way. It's just, this is a week for y'all to prove the doubters wrong. And this is a week for us to keep building off the positivity that we just had against Oklahoma. Backs against the wall. We went out and we took care of business. Now I feel like our back's against the wall going forward the rest of the year, so I hope we continue to do that. But, yeah, man, week 8, we're here. We're, almost 3/4 through the season? We are 3/4 through the season?
Long season, man. Long season. Like, it's going by fast, but I feel like once the playoffs and stuff comes around, I feel like it's so long now, especially with all the playoff games we have and conference championships and all that jazz. So, yeah, man, it's flying by. We're actually just getting in the meat of conference schedules. We just had our second conference game, both of us. So we're going to both be on the road this week after the Cotton Bowl. So excited to hopefully, feel a lot better this time around next week, a little bit of momentum because, it's going to be a fun time for me as a fan. It's going to be fun and stressful. We got all the gauntlet coming up. Obviously, y'all got to be perfect essentially. And y'all got a couple people in y'all's schedule that are going to be challenging to play. So, yeah, it's exciting. This is where teams will start getting eliminated essentially, and every given Saturday, especially in our conference, which is actually something I want to bring up before we get into the breakdown.
Our conference?
Just
the
something
SEC, the best conference ever?
No, just something Brent Venables has said in his press conference because
no, tell me you're gonna bring up your Big 12.
No. I just gotta get something off my chest.
Tell me you're gonna bring up the Big 12, man. The Big 12 is the Big 12, man. We all know what it is, man. We all know, there's nothing to bring up, man.
I just gotta get off my chest, man. It would only be wrong for me to not at least address what happened the other day during the press conference. All Brent Venables said was he just got asked a question about the grind of the SEC week to week, and all he said was, listen, it's not the days where Oklahoma would just destroy everybody and then have to worry about one game a year, that one game being Texas, usually.
Okay.
Now, he's saying that in the SEC, it's a lot like the NFL. I mean, look at the spreads every week. They're all like one score spread for the most part, especially at the top of the league. All the people are pretty close. It's going to be all competitive. But he said that, and the Big 12, the Twitter account had to quote it and say Brent Venables won or lost 8 conference games in his 2 seasons there as a Big 12 coach. Yes, this did happen. However, in the first year, during a rebuild, lost all those people to the portal, this and that. Yes, he lost 6 conference games, whatever it was. It's also his first year as a head coach. Whoop-de-doo. The following year, if we don't choke, and lose to Kansas or get cheated, and this I know they cheated when we were in the Big 12. And I mean, shit, they were probably trying to cheat Texas out the last year. They didn't want y'all to win, obviously, either. We literally got cheated against Oklahoma State so that they would not have OU and Texas both playing for the Big 12 title in a rematch in 2023. I firmly believe that. PI was clear as day. The calls were crazy that game. They called PIs on us. Ridiculous. It is what it is. But we only lost 2 conference games that year. So in the 28 years that Oklahoma was in the Big 12, OU won 14 Big 12 titles. We carried the conference. We ran the conference. Literally everybody had an under 500 record. Most teams that were in the 20 and 30% against us in the Big 12. So let's also not forget, Brent Venables was the DC for like 7 or 8 of those titles. So it's not like he didn't have a hand in winning those. So I just thought it was ridiculous that a official account of a conference had the nerve to actually tweet that. I'm just like, that's actually kind of wild to me. And then the admin guy, don't even know what the dude's name is, quoted it and was like, you don't bark up this tree. Buddy, we were the tree. The saw, the tree, the foundation, everything in the conference. So I just had to get that off. I know we're not in the Big 12 anymore, but it just pissed me off because then you have all these Barstool accounts of all these other Big 12 teams trying to dunk on OU. Like, y'all got beat all the time. But yeah, that's it. I just had to get my piece off. That's it. Yeah, I'm done. Okay. The floor is now yours to talk about Texas and the Wildcats.
There we are, man. Texas and the Wildcats on the road to Kentucky. As my father would say, Kentucky. But what?
That's just funny. It's something Mr. Mojica would say.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Kentucky. He calls y'all blow you. He calls them Kentucky.
Oh my
Can't
gosh.
say what he calls A&M.
What's he called? Texas. Texas. That's what my dad says. Texas.
Yeah. Anyway, so he said that this weekend, did he?
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Not so. But on the road to Kentucky, we have a 6 p.m. kickoff, so a late night kickoff, and a little scary down there in Lexington, man. You know, last year, I think probably around the same time of the year.
Yeah, and I think that was a 2:30 game last year when they were here.
And, you know, Kentucky, Georgia, there's going at it. It was at night.
Yeah.
So,
hey, yeah.
It's get scary down there, man. But, you know, I think we will take care of business. Spread's kind of high right now. Don't know if I like that, but we have the team to
What's
do
it at?
Right now, 12.5.
Not too bad.
We have the team to do it. We just, you know, got to continue to improve week in and week out. Probably gonna be saying it all season. Sound like a broken record at this point, but just offensive line, just get it going, man. I need a full game out of y'all, not just a half, especially not the second half, because at that point like Florida, it was too late. So I need a full game out of y'all. We had some departures today, unfortunately. Was today or yesterday?
Yesterday. Gibson and Stone.
Yeah. We had some departures today. They wanted a red shirt. Obviously, with I'll just speak on Gibson because that just kind of like it's the big piece I think that we'll miss. I loved Gibson, man. I think he had a lot of upside. It's just when you can't take care of the football, the coaches can't trust you. You're just not going to get in. And then on top of that,
you're recruiting the way y'all are. I was
going to say, on top of that, when you got young cats behind you who are doing what they're doing, especially as true freshmen, and they're taking care of the ball, and you just kind of get surpassed, man. Like that's how it is sometimes. But when Gibson played, man, I thought he did well. He has the potential to be a great running back. He really does. He just has to hold on to the football. That's just been his biggest issue is holding on to the football. He only got in one time against Oklahoma. Unfortunately, he rushed for negative yards. It was like -2 or -3. But he wanted to redshirt, and obviously the only way for him to do that is for him to, unfortunately, quit the team and enter in the transfer portal. But hey, best wishes to him, man. I think he has the opportunity to be great. I will miss him. Like I said, I feel like he could have done great things here at Texas. But, you know, you got to take care of your own. If that's what you got to do and that's what's going to, you know, better your future, hey. All power to you.
You got to bet on yourself, man. Absolutely. Especially nowadays, like, people don't wait around for anybody. You know, he was a number 3 overall back and got compared to Sony Michel. And he's from Florida, so maybe he finds his way back to the Sunshine State or something.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully he stays in SEC. I mean, he's definitely talented enough. Yeah. I hope he doesn't go to like some
absolutely,
you know, the Big 12, you know. So
I mean, hey, it might be the place to go. We start breaking some records.
It might be the place to go. Nah, for real. Somebody might Tech might throw him a bag.
Absolutely. Throwing everybody else a bag. Hey, throw us a bag. Come on, Tech. We have a alum that went there. Come on. Yeah. But no, at Kentucky, 6 p.m. kickoff. Just need a complete game from the offensive line. Defense keep doing what they're doing. I love the way I didn't even touch on it on the morning after, but I love the way Arch played last game. He played that game with just confidence and poise, and he never showed that he was just stressed. Like it was just he got sacked once every time he escaped the pocket. He had never really ran the ball. I think that helped a lot. He let plays develop and let people get open, and it's such a big thing from a young player. And I feel like I can't stress this enough. When you have a young quarterback like that, who is able to have green in front of him, but stay behind the line, keep the play alive, keep your eyes up and downfield the whole time, and then find something in the middle of the field or coming across and throwing across your body and completing it for 15 yards instead of you running for 8 yards. Like that's such a big underrated thing in my opinion, especially from a young quarterback to have that kind of a veteran mindset to be able to do that. And we know Arch, like he's a runner. Like I don't think he wants to run and wants to take off, but obviously he has the ability to do it. But he trusted himself and he made the correct reads and the correct throws, and it seems like him and Wingo are starting to find their footing together. They had some nice connections, man, and it seems, as Arch rolled out the pocket, Wingo sat in some pockets, went to the spot that Arch knew he was going to go to, and they just had some connections. The play of the game, rolling out to the right side in the back of our end zone, throwing it to Parker Livingston on the sideline, like that throw was just something he didn't even think about. He just threw it. It was like natural for him, and it was on the money. So him keep playing like that, I think that's the kind of the caliber. Like he didn't light the stats up, but he had a lot of plays that don't go into the stat book that impacted that game. And I just want that to continue. I don't care if you light up the stat book or not. I don't care if you don't do it. If we win and you make those plays that don't show up on the stat sheet that are the reasons why you're driving the ball downfield or why you're successful, like that's all I care about. And I think New York Times, take down that article they wrote, because he's a gamer, man. He really is. He showed it last week at Florida. He showed it this week against Oklahoma. He's a gamer. He doesn't care how many times he gets hit. He's gonna go up there and then stand right back in the pocket and deliver another throw. I love it, and I think he continues that success this week. Biggest thing for me, it's gonna be loud there, man. Same with Oklahoma. Same thing with Texas. Like, people get up to play for us. That's just that's the target we have.
Time going out there.
That's the target we have on our back. People love to play against us, to get up to play against us. So it's going to be loud there. So I just need our offensive line to just chill. We have a freshman that stepped up big in the Oklahoma game, and he seems like he's finding his footing. I believe his name is, I can't remember his name. My brain's fried right now. I have it though. I guess
Brooks.
I don't have it. Yes, Nick Brooks.
Nick Brooks,
yes. He stepped up tremendously, and he's a true freshman. He's showing some nasty out there on the field too. Getting his people faces, like he just wanted to be out there. He wanted to play. So offensive line, just give me a complete game, man. Keep the penalties to a minimum, please. Like, just if we could just stay ahead of the chains. I know we're gonna have some 3-and-outs here and there, but as long as we don't have penalties, as long as we're not 1st and 15s, 1st and 20s, I would love that this game. So if we can just continue to do that, man, just play every half like it's the second half, man. I know early SEC report came out. Baxter's still doubtful, so I don't know when we'll get him back, which kind of does hurt because I feel like him and Trey would be a great 1-2 combo, especially just taking the load off of Trey a little bit because he runs a lot, man. He runs hard, and I don't think he's built for that. So if we can somehow get him back and get him going, that would be great, especially the stretch that we're about to have. But yeah, man, I expect us to go in there and take care of business.
I'm looking at some stats, like some key stats, like their offense is 115th in the country. Their rushing offense is 66th in the country. Yards per player 105. Yeah, that's what their offense is predicated on. Shout out Seth McGowan. Used to be at Oklahoma a while back, and has found his way back up to the SEC. So, congrats to him. He's doing pretty good so far. But
Crazy, isn't it?
yeah, what?
Running back
I
left
mean, he got kicked
Oklahoma.
off though.
I know, but a
He
running
got
back
kicked
that
off though.
is that the one that
Hey, no, I mean, I think he has like 700 yards this year.
Yeah.
Let me see.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying
he's having
every
a
time
good
a quarterback running back leaves Oklahoma, it's just
431 yards, averaging 5.5 and carry 7 tuds. So solid year so far.
They're just doing better. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. We'll get to my guy.
Look at what's his name?
Tywee, Hollywood Smothers at North Carolina State.
Come on, man. My boy said he wanted to square up with DeMarco. Hey, he was. Come on.
Shit, I want to square up with DeMarco. But yeah, I mean, some key stats. Those are, they live with the run game. That's how they get going. I mean, it's not a good matchup for them as y'all are 4th in rushing defense and then 32 in pass defense. So, you guys stop their run game, get them behind the chains. I think they're going to try to make it a bar fight. They always try to with everybody they play that's more talented than them. The first quarter might have 2 possessions. Y'all, like Texas might get 2 possessions in the first quarter, depending on how things go. I could see them trying to milk the clock, condense the game, and then, things like that. So y'all got to make every possession count. I'm not, from a talent standpoint, y'all shouldn't be in any danger, but you do got to make every possession count in a game like this because you never know how many opportunities you're going to get. And if they get a little bit of momentum and if it's close in the fourth quarter, that's where you don't want to be with Kentucky, just because that's the style of the game they want it to be.
Like good old K-State football, huh?
Yeah. Shout out Mark Stoops. He's done a good job there, but he might be on his way out this year. It's looking kind of grim. They're 0-3 in conference. So it's looking kind of grim for them. But yeah, I'm excited to see Arch. I'm excited to see him build off that. Y'all's team build off that. See if y'all can put together a complete game. Because obviously y'all beat us last week, but just complete game start to finish over a quality opponent, a Power 4 opponent. So yeah. On to our game. We're playing South Carolina. Big game for us, massive game. We got to get right. We got to get back. Injury reports just came out. Derek Simmons, the tackle that got rolled up against y'all, he's not listed on there. So that's very, very good news for us. They thought he would be out maybe a couple weeks, but the fact that it sounds like he's playing and giving it a go in practice, that's massive news for us because they got some freaks on the D line. What's his name? Dylan Stewart, and they got another guy, number 46, who they can get to the quarterback. But outside of that, I mean, their secondary is pretty gettable. I think that's the strength of our team is throwing the football if John has his eyes right. So I would like for us to take advantage in that aspect and got to get some run game going because I think we could beat South Carolina and a lot of teams if John just hits his throws and we move the ball through the air. But if we want to be playing, into December, into January in the playoffs, we got to be able to run the ball. And be able to shorten the game, help out our defense some, and, be able to get those tough yards. Because I've seen us do it against Michigan. I saw us go on a 9-10 minute drive in the fourth quarter against Michigan to end the game. So I know we can do it. I know it's possible. But we just got to put it together, and we can't have this hangover. We can't have Texas beat us twice, right? We can't lose that game and then go into this game feeling sorry for ourselves and lose to a team that could give us some problems. They got a very talented quarterback. I do think that if you force him to be a pocket passer, that's kind of where he does struggle. You can't let him get going early and running the football. I think against LSU, he traveled like 892 total yards and only had 30 yards rushing.
Jesus.
Yeah, insane stat. So dude was running for his life, and that kind of been the telltale sign of South Carolina this year. I mean, we watched them play Virginia Tech early in the season, and we were like, hey, they don't look that good up front. They're getting kind of whooped, but hey, it is what it is. And Virginia Tech isn't that any good, right? And they just fired their offensive line coach this week. So we'll see if that even makes a difference. I think it might make it worse. We'll see. But they're not good up front, and that's kind of been the issue. They can't really get anything going. South Carolina they're pretty much last in every major offensive category. And that matches up well with us because, even after the Texas game, we're still first or second in almost every category, still second in scoring. So, if we play the game, I know we can play and if our offense can help us out. I firmly believe we can hold them to 10 points, if not less. I mean, they're going to be at home. It'll be hard to shut them out, but it's not impossible. I think we can do it.
Such a weird kickoff, Sam.
Yeah, I know. 11:45, like 45 minutes after the main window. Y'all's is too, because y'all's is at 6, and then all the main games are at 6:30,
6:30,
which is
yeah.
kind of nice because you can, like, when your game goes at halftime, you can actually watch like a decent amount of the other games for 15 minutes or
when our game
whatnot.
ends, those being
They'll still be on a little bit if they're getting close. But yeah, South Carolina, they're 118th in first downs, 100 in pass, 112th in rushing, and 116th in yards per play. So we can't let them have a get right game against us. There's no way we should let that happen. And I'm excited to see how we bounce back. It'll be tough playing there. I'm actually super happy this game's at 11:45 because when they come out to Enter Sandman at night and that place is rocking, that's one of the toughest places to play in the country. So fortunate we got this one early, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the team will bounce back. I'm excited to see what they look like after a tough emotional loss like that last week. So
yeah, man. Guess we'll get right into it. We have
another loaded weekend.
And we start off with Friday instead of Saturday. Like we just talked about, man. Undefeated Louisville. I think, did we talk about that on here or morning after?
We kind of touched on it, but we didn't really go in depth on the game. We just kind of said
who they were playing. Miami hasn't left Florida, like we've talked about that.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah,
but was it on here or the morning after?
Morning after.
Okay. Well, Louisville is going to Miami. Miami doesn't leave the state of Florida until week 8 or their 8th game when they play
SMU
at SMU. So Louisville's undefeated. They aren't undefeated. They're undefeated in conference play. They're not undefeated in conference play. Why do I keep saying that?
They lost to Virginia.
They lost to Virginia.
Yeah.
They have one loss to Virginia. And it went into overtime. Virginia's ranked 18th, so it shows that they can keep up. They were favored in that game to win by 7, I believe, or 6.5. But they couldn't pull it out. So they go on the road to Miami. Such a weird thing. This game's on Friday night. But you have a quarterback who has been in big time atmospheres already, Miller Moss. So I don't know. I don't know how much that'll help him in here. Just because that front seven, man, it's something serious.
Yeah, something serious. Those dudes are.
Yeah, that's kind of like
them
the
dudes
biggest,
are different.
That's the best part of their team, really. That's what keeps them in a lot of ball games. Obviously, I'm a Miami hater, so I always want them to lose. I'm not a Miami hater because of Miami. I'm a Miami hater because Mr. Carson Beck. Don't think that guy's very good.
Have you been balling though so far?
Yeah, I think he's him and Ty, I looked at earlier. Him and Ty Simpson are tied 1 and 2. They have the same odds for the Heisman at plus 350.
Yeah, Carson Beck 6th in QBR so far this year. 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. Hasn't really turned the ball over a ton. Against better competition, he threw 2 against South Florida and 1 against Florida. But
he against Florida State, at least 1 against Notre Dame.
Yeah, but against Florida State, no turnovers, 4 touchdowns. This game it's only dangerous, I think, because it's on a Friday. The problem is they're at home, so I don't really think they're going to be dealing with too much. And Louisville's pretty one-dimensional. On offense, they're 21st in passing offense, but in rushing, they're 113th. And I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball at all in Miami. So, yeah, I don't know. They got to come up with a good plan. I know Braum is a good coach, and I think he'll have a good plan, but we'll just kind of see. I'm not really worried about Miami losing the game, unless Carson Beck, makes mistakes and stuff. But right now, he's been playing really good football and clean football, so I think they take care of business and handle it how they should, at least.
Yeah, Miami has a cakewalk, man. Their schedule's very favorable to them. I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that kind of hurts you in a way. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go 1 and done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't
I
play
agree.
like good competition. So when that good competition's finally there and they hit you in the mouth, you kind of don't know how to respond because you haven't had to face adversity all season.
Yep. I agree.
So but that's Friday, man. 6 o'clock kickoff ESPN. I will be tuned in, probably from the lake. Not much of a lake to look at a lake, but
You going to the lake?
yeah, I'm go fishing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This guy.
Hey,
This
man,
guy.
you gotta catch the bass,
I
man.
get
They
it.
calling.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
Um, 11. I mean, this game is massive. 11 a.m. kickoff, ABC.
Massive.
This game is massive. This has, I mean, elimination written
Playoff
all over
eliminator.
it, both conference
Yeah.
and playoff. And this is a
Mm-hmm.
huge game for Brian Kelly. This is a massive game for Brian Kelly because their season doesn't get any easier, and that offense just has to get going. It's got to start now. Is Durham back?
Yep. Yeah, he had a good game last week.
Okay.
Broke a long run.
That was the game we didn't really get to. We were watching off and on, but LSU at Vanderbilt, at the Commodores, man. That's Diego Pavia's home. That's his playground. That's where they like to get down and dirty, man. It's gonna be a tough one. I think this game is probably going to be a defensive game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the stats, and LSU's defense has been pretty good. They're very, very aggressive. So that my problem is that while they are a good defense, they're fast, they're aggressive. I think that plays right into Diego Pavia and what Vanderbilt wants to do, because Vanderbilt is like second in the country in third down conversions. So it shows that they are always ahead of the change. They always are in good. They always have good play calls, to convert. Offensively, they're seventh in scoring. They're passing and rushing. The rushing is the offense is 23rd. Their passing offense is 46. So pretty balanced team. And I think that sets it up because, I mean, last year when Vanderbilt beat Alabama, they took advantage of some busts, some blitzes, and Pavia made plays. And I think this can be a game to where if LSU, is too aggressive, I think Pavia can make them pay with his playmaking ability. Nussmeier hasn't looked that good this year, and I do think it is because he is hurt. I mean, I know they tried to mask it during fall camp, but when you watch him play, he looks hurt. He looks like he's not 100%, and he looks like he's kind of just gutting it out. And I really don't know. Like, they've been scraping by and winning some games, but like you mentioned, their schedule is about to get a lot harder. And when they played a good team on the road against Ole Miss, they lost that game. So if he's not 100% and if he's still hurt and struggling, I mean, even last week, I mean, they could have beat South Carolina by more. He had a couple interceptions, but South Carolina isn't really a threat offensively to challenge you, while Vanderbilt could be, and they're at home. They got confidence. They lost Alabama, but they have confidence. They don't feel like they're favored in this game for a reason. So very, very dangerous spot for LSU. And like you were saying, if they don't get it going, I mean, it can fall off the rails quickly for LSU because it doesn't get easier. And while I like Oklahoma, like we had our struggles offensively, we know what we can do well. I don't really know what LSU does well offensively at all. Like, they don't really run the ball well. Their pass game is taking a hit because Nussmeier isn't healthy. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
It might be the beginning of the end, man. That I don't. I mean, I'm kind of torn here because like I want both teams to win. Like, I want it's LSU, man. It's always cool to just see them, be one of the
When they're doing good and winning.
yeah, and they have the offense to do it. They have the tools to be electric, but at the same time, it's Diego Pavia, man. That's a dog right there. He got.
Mm-hmm.
As a, you just want. Yeah, he's kind of must see TV in a way.
Yeah.
He's not, the best passer. He's not the best runner, but he's confident. He's undersized. He's in the SEC, winning games, and he's a dog. He doesn't give up. He fights to the end. So
Yeah, no
I don't
doubt.
know. I want both to win. Obviously, you can't in the time, but This ain't the NFL, huh?
No, ain't the NFL. Ain't gonna have that Cowboys, record.
Yeah, so that's 11 a.m. kickoff on ABC. Also at 11 a.m. I did not know Georgia Tech was 12. I did not pay attention to that.
They've been slowly creeping up.
12? That's impressive.
Yeah, they've been slowly creeping up. I mean, they haven't lost. They had some scares, and I think this is the scare. I do.
Yeah, it's at Duke. Go ahead.
It's at Duke. Duke is a solid team. They're kind of getting hot at the right time. I think Duke football has been reeling off some wins.
Mr. Diaz.
Yeah, they lost. I mean, Duke. They lost. They're undefeated in conference right now. Some impressive wins. Blew out Syracuse. Beat Cal by 24 in California. So Duke's right in the mix for the ACC. I know they lost Illinois and Tulane, but as of now, they're still a playoff contender. They're undefeated in conference. They're in the mix. They got to go to Clemson. They got Virginia at home, but then they go to North Carolina. They got Wake Forest. So they win this game. Duke is right up there in that hunt. They are.
Yeah, but
Georgia Tech is obviously in the mix right now.
This might be the Indiana of last year. They control their own destiny. They play at Duke.
Georgia Tech?
Yes. They play at Duke. They play Syracuse at home. They play at NC State, at Boston College versus Pitt versus Georgia. And they have Georgia. Is that neutral?
No.
They have Georgia.
They were there last year. They have them there. Yeah, and that game won't really affect them too much as long as they can.
If they win all those games and they lose that they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
They kind of control their own destiny, man.
They do. And Georgia Tech was my dark horse playoff team in the offseason, and I got to stick with it. I am nervous about this game for them.
What did I say?
I don't know who you said. I don't know who you said. But I think you said Tech. Maybe, I don't know.
I might have said Tech.
Or A&M. I know you said A&M.
Yeah, maybe something like that. But those both sound right.
Yeah, but the problem is for what Duke doesn't do well on offense or on defense is their pass defense. I know Haynes King can throw the ball, but the way Georgia Tech likes to call their plays, they like to run him and they like to run the football. And Duke's defense is, 42th in that category, 42nd in that category. So, matchup wise, Duke looks like they match up well with them. They have a good offense. It's pretty electric. We'll just have to see because we've seen Georgia Tech come back in games, but how sustainable is that with their offense? If they struggle, I mean, because I know they had to come back against Wake Forest, but they really should have lost that game. If Robbie Ashford doesn't get hurt, they probably lose that game. So, yeah, it's a dangerous game, and it's a huge game in the ACC. It's really underrated just because Duke isn't ranked and they have those 2 losses. But when you look at the conference standings, like this is a massive game in the ACC. They're right there, undefeated in conference.
Third.
Yeah, and they Duke controls their destiny for the most part. I mean, they get, Virginia's ranked right now. They're going to get them at home, though, if they can win this game. And they got this game at home. And they got to obviously beat Clemson, who is beatable. So,
yeah, it's an exciting game, man. I did not realize Georgia Tech was ranked 12th. And the coach was talking crazy about them before the season started.
Slowly moving up, bro.
Hey, we can't even run 2 plays.
Slowly moving up. They're sneaky.
Yeah, they are. 11 a.m. ESPN. Another 11 a.m. game on Fox. You have Washington at Michigan. It's kind of a big game for both teams.
Massive game as well. Like, mainly because, people are kind of high on Washington. A lot of people have them 9-3. A lot of people have them maybe making the playoff potentially if they can, because outside of which is going to be credit to Ohio State. Outside of Ohio State shutting them down, I mean, Washington's been pretty scorched earth on everyone. Last week, Damon Williams had a ton of yards. I mean, he threw for 298, ran for 88. Denzel Boston, the receivers going crazy. They had a good running back in Coleman. But they, for the most part, they win this one. They kind of control their own destiny. I know they got Illinois but they got them at home, and they got Oregon at the end of the year at home. And that's always a tough game or always a rivalry, but huge game for Michigan. After you get hit in the mouth like that against USC, you lose to Oklahoma early in the year. I think it's a must-win game for Michigan. If they want to just have any chance of doing something this year, they got to have this one because they still got Ohio State and then some other teams. I don't know who else they got on their schedule, but they still got Ohio State. And hey, Sharon Moore showed up to his press conference with a blue collar jacket on because he said we're blue collar. So hey, when your coach start pulling out them tactics, I don't know. He might be a little nervous doing stuff like that. Got to bring out the blue collar jacket because you're blue collar. Everyone knows Michigan's blue collar. That's what y'all are built on. You don't got to come out and say it. So that might be kind of alarming, Carlos. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you're at home, man, and you don't have the team to be in a shootout, but you have a team that can win you some close games. If you can get some stops and just hold the ball, you have a quarterback who can. He's a dual threat athlete. He can make plays with the arm or with the leg, and if you can just keep this offense off the field, because this offense is electric, unless you're playing Ohio State, which nobody is. I got to see that firsthand. You can win this game. Now, I don't know how much if Sharon Moore loses. I don't know how much it'll affect the job because we kind of talked about that. I think he's fine this year. I
because this is his first year with Bryce. You also want to keep him.
Like receivers are going to want to come play with Bryce. You're Michigan. You're always going to get defensive players. Like you are fine. You might be in a better position now than you are with Jim.
Maybe.
I would say so. You have a better quarterback than you had with Jim.
I don't know. JJ was kind of that guy.
Yeah, but they focus
later,
so much.
Though, once he developed.
Yeah, but they focus so much on the run game too. Like you had a 1-2 punch with
Corum and Edwards.
Yes, Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum. Yes, and like that won them the games. They were just not. They weren't unstoppable, but like they would just punch you in the mouth and just keep going. And JJ didn't really throw that much. He threw when he needed to, but I feel like you have a better situation now than we did with Jim. You just got to get the recruits there. And once that happens, I mean, they're in a great position. So if he loses this game, I don't think it'll affect too much, but there's some big possibilities there that can happen. We already touched on Oklahoma, South Carolina. Won't go on that one. 3:00 Fox. We got Texas Tech at Arizona State. I mean, there's just not much to say, man. Texas Tech just say, hey, man.
It all depends on if Sam Leavitt is available.
Even if he is, man.
Yeah,
that defense is nice, man. I don't know, and in the Big 12 specifically, I don't know if there's an offense that can keep up with that defense.
I agree, and they also have the offense, to do it
and score.
They're saying Morton is day to day, but like
look what the backup did against Utah.
Hammond is probably better, so it's like that's not really going to hurt their team at all. And man, before the injuries, before we saw how really good Tech is, I mean, this was the game everyone was kind of circling in the Big 12 as the massive game in the regular season before the conference championship. And, it still could be that way, but after you just see Arizona State get handled by Utah and then Tech kind of handled Utah on the road, I know it'll be tough for Tech to go up there, but they're playing with confidence. I mean, the way they're able to run the ball last week, they ran for they had a running back over 268 last week. Just dominant. And we know they can throw the football. Like we've said early on the pod this year, that their team is just way more talented than everyone they're going to play this year in the Big 12. And if they lose, it'll be because they don't play well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah. There's not many offenses who can keep up with that defense in the Big 12, man. It's just I think after this it's pretty much all home games for them. They
should after this they should be undefeated going into the conference title. And in the Big 12, you kind of want them to go undefeated if you're another Big 12 team that for that second bid, because you kind of want to have a dominant team that kind of has some separation in the conference. And then if that second team is, really good, but not better than Tech, maybe they backdoor their way into the playoff or something.
Yeah.
So you kind of want that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, we kind of skipped over that 2:30 matchup. Do you want to go to it later?
Who is it? Let me look. 2:30.
Do you want to go later, or do you want to?
We can go to it now, just because the other games are good. Yeah.
2:30 ABC prime time spot. Hey man, you already know what fan I am this week, man. Hey man, hey, where that sip at, man? Come on.
Oh my God.
Where that sip at, man?
Oh
Come
my
on.
God.
Ole Miss versus Georgia. Kirby gonna try to do some cheating in this game, as he does every game. And you hear him crying about all kinds of stuff. You hear him crying, saying, "They're calling clear clapping." Boy, shut up. I'm tired of you, man. That's how he wins his game. He just be cheating.
He's a winner, bro.
He's
dominant.
He's a cheater.
He is a winner.
He practices black magic.
He's a champion. He gets it done. He just has an Alabama problem. Ole Miss
That
last
has to be
year.
an Ole Miss problem.
Hold on. Ole Miss last year beat him. Yes. But I saw a stat today. Ole Miss has not won in Athens in 29 meetings.
That's fine.
Maybe it changes.
We keep it there.
I don't know.
We don't go to 30. We keep it at 29.
My question is, we saw Ole Miss struggle last week against Washington State. Not a good Washington State team. They don't got Arbuckle or Mateer there. Struggled.
Happens, man.
Were they looking ahead? Do they have the maturity to handle this game? Because we've already seen Georgia pull off one in Neyland, play Alabama tough, even though they lost, came back in Jordan Hare. Georgia's already been tested. Like we said, winning is a skill. They got the pieces. They got everything to get this to make this happen.
Cheating.
Well, he's already won two natties. So, I mean, regardless of what he did last week or not, I still got to give Kirby Smart his flowers.
He's got to cheat because he doesn't know.
I mean?
He knows that his team isn't like a national champion team. That's why he's cheating.
Oh, my gosh. The issue, though, is Georgia's secondary is pretty – they give up some plays. This year, they're 60th in defense and pass defense. Ole Miss, we know they like to throw the ball over the yard. Lane Kiffin will have a scheme. They're 8th in passing offense, and they're also 28th in rushing offense. So the offense is very, very, very explosive. However, their defense is, good pass defense, rush defense isn't good. Georgia's actually found some things in the rushing game lately. My issue is Georgia has kind of had some slow starts this year, and Ole Miss, I think, is the type of team to where if they can actually start and get off hot like they're capable of, does Georgia have enough firepower, especially against it sounds like Ole Miss has a good secondary, to come back in a game like that? I know they did it against Tennessee, but their secondary is not good. We kind of saw what happened against Alabama, who has a good secondary. They didn't have enough. I know they had a guy drop a pass, so, it happens. But, yeah, I mean, this is a huge game, huge game. Carlos, y'all play Texas. You should want them to win this game, man. Y'all play Georgia. You should want them to win this game.
Yeah, I actually said that yesterday at work. I was like, nah, I need Georgia to win this game. So, because if Ole Miss wins this game, we're really not winning. We're already really not winning that game, but we're really, really not winning that game if Ole Miss wins this game. There's no way he loses at home 3 times this year.
No, I agree. And I would like Ole Miss to win because we play them the week after this. So if Ole Miss wins, we'll have a top 5 team coming down to Norman.
We're going again. Yeah, but even if Ole Miss loses, bro, like they're not gonna drop far. They're
not.
Georgia's 9.
They're not.
Like
but this could also be
split.
But Ole Miss is ranked pretty high because they beat LSU, right? But I don't know. Like, is this?
Yeah,
we still really don't know. Yeah, that's true. They'll probably flip in the rankings.
Yeah,
but we really don't know how good Ole Miss is.
Team coming in.
Yeah, but do we know how good Ole Miss is though?
I think
because I know they beat LSU.
I think we've seen glimpses, and I think we see what they can do. But as the man who just got fired, that's the kind of problem they have.
Because really, for Ole Miss, the next 2 weeks are huge for them.
They can't win the big games. This
is also our first time seeing them go on the road this year.
Yeah. Hey man,
You know,
I
they
just
got
know
to go to
that.
Georgia, then they got to go to OU.
I just know that my dog
Then after
Turning
that,
Man
it's
built
kind
for
of
this,
easy.
man. Mr.
Is
Chambliss
he?
is built for this, man. Hey, even if he's
Is
not, you
he?
got a backup
For,
quarterback who.
first time on the road playing against Kirby Smart. I don't know. Kirby Smart he already in must win mode
Yeah,
because of the Alabama loss. So
even if you, no, he's not, bro.
yeah, yes,
Even if if they
it's
win
Kirby
this
Smart.
game and they lose another one, like he is fine. He is fine.
It's not getting easy for Georgia. I mean, they still got to play Georgia Tech. Still got to play y'all.
They ain't hurt the crown he was
You
doing
know,
last season when it wasn't easy. Um,
hey, it's Kirby Smart, man. You got to put some respect on my boy.
he can.
Hey, if Lane Kiffin wins, you think he's going to be doing this at the press conference?
Oh, I hope so.
He's definitely he's a troll.
He is a
So.
troll. He for sure would do that. He already trolled him about the weight loss or whatever it was. Him not being in shape.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, no. This is gonna be a tough one. All jokes aside, it's gonna be a tough one for Ole Miss, man. I mean, we're there. Like I said, they're the Penn State of the SEC. They can't win the big games. Now it's unfortunate because they play more big teams than Penn State would have to, and they just can't. They can't beat the Georgias. They can't beat the Alabamas. I don't know if there's another team they consistently lose to. Maybe LSU, but for sure Georgia and Alabama. Like they just could never beat that team. So
Yeah, LSU. They kind of lately they've been splitting. They've been winning. They've won at home, and the LSU wins at home. It's kind of what it's been lately. But
man.
yeah, I mean, Ole Miss. We'll see. I mean, it's their first time going on the road. They play y'all or Georgia than us. So these are two massive games for them because I mean the rest of the schedule is pretty easy. They got Florida, they got Mississippi State, who's not a bad team by any means, and it's a rivalry. But these are their two real tests outside LSU, and they got to go on the road and get it done. They got to prove that they can do this because last year Lane Kiffin was crying when he had the opportunity to win games, lost on the road to Florida. Didn't handle business when he needed to. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, man.
Next, right after that game, it goes into a banger game, man. I think this game might be a little bit closer than that Georgia Ole Miss game. I don't know yet. Might have to find out on chips and slips. But you got Tennessee traveling to good old Tuscaloosa, man. Rivalry game. This is what they call the cigar week for Tennessee.
Yeah, cigar week. I don't think Tennessee. I'm trying to think was the last time they beat Alabama and Tuscaloosa. It's been a long time because obviously they won recently,
GPT,
but it was in. When was the last time they won in Alabama?
Probably been a while. I know they haven't won at Florida in a while, but Alabama, it's got to be.
Years.
You think it's more than Florida? They haven't won like 20 years at Florida or something like that.
I think it's been a long time. I'm trying to find it. This shit ain't working. But yeah, it should be a good game, man. It should be a banger. Like, I mean, both teams have very good offenses. My problem is Tennessee's defenses is not good. They give up a lot of points. Alabama can hurt them throwing, running if Jam's healthy. We just saw Arkansas light them up at home. So that's their issue. And I do think Aguilar is turnover prone. And Ty Simpson has been playing some of the cleanest football, if not the cleanest football in the country. So I don't really see him turn the ball over a lot in this game.
2003.
Yeah. So it's been 22 years since they've won in Tuscaloosa. So they don't win there. I know they beat them recently at home, but it's not Neyland. They don't got the fan base to rely on them. And if Alabama can get through this game, man, like we kind of said, they've already won some tough games. And you get through this one, I think DeBoer's got them playing on the thing is too with Kalen DeBoer, everyone was hating on him, but like the coaches that are at his level in his sport, he's beat Sark at Washington twice, has beat Kirby Smart twice in a row, lost to Tennessee. But they're on the road. It's already beat Brian Kelly, LSU on the road. So he is beating the top dogs in the conference, and that has to be noticed because everyone was talking about firing him, this and that, but it shows that now that he has his team, now that he has a quarterback that can operate a system, he even trusts Ty Simpson way more than he did with Milroe. The things he's letting him do in the pass game, the things he's letting him do on third downs and in the red zone, he's letting him actually orchestrate the offense that DeBoer likes to run. And I think that's a huge advantage. I think that's why they're a lot better this year. And they obviously have the defense to play well. So unfortunately, I don't know, man. I'm Tennessee. If their defense was better, I would like them a little bit more in this spot. But they just last week seeing Taylor Green light them up like that. And I know Taylor Green's very good. It just kind of shows that they have a defensive issue. And it wasn't just last week. Mississippi State did it. Georgia obviously had to do it to them. So I think that's going to be their fault. It's because they can't get any stops,
Yeah. I mean, going into the season, we knew Joey Aguilar was turnover prone. That's kind of what you knew, kind of what you were going to expect getting him at quarterback, and you have to be okay with that. That's how he's going to live and die. I think Tennessee does have the offensive firepower to move the ball downfield and score on Alabama, but I think Alabama so far since Florida State, they do end up making great adjustments in game. So I don't know how long that's going to last. But at the same time, I don't think they have the offensive firepower to go toe-to-toe with Alabama because Alabama's going to be able to score the ball. They just seem to keep getting better each week on the offensive side, man. It's kind of getting scary. I'm not going to lie.
Really, as a team, bro, this feels like everything's clicking for them. They've already been tested and they got this, they got us, they still got LSU, but they get through this game, they're fine. They're probably a lock, I think, to make the playoff.
Maybe I'm just a hater, man. Maybe I am just a hater. Do they look?
They're good, bro.
Are they a more complete team than that Miami? Miami's number 2,
I think they are just because
so too. And I want to say that, but it's like they're number 2 and they haven't lost.
I just trust their offense more, but I do like Miami's offense. But I also have seen Alabama been really tested. They played, they've already beat 3 really good teams. Miami's beaten Notre Dame, who is good, I guess, but they also Notre Dame hasn't beaten anybody, and then they beat who Tennessee or not Tennessee, Miami beat Florida State, who has 3 losses now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Alabama, they win this game. It's like I already think the Florida State game's a fluke. They win this game, it's sure a fluke to me. Week 1, it happened. Look what they've done since then. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say that, man. Fuck it. Sorry. I just don't see a world where Alabama loses this game. I just don't.
I don't either.
I just don't. Like I said, it's getting scary, man. It really is. They're coming together as a team, and I don't know, man. That offense is and they're not, like you said, their best player is not even healthy. And look what they're doing.
Yep.
Their running back got a concussion, and look what they're doing. Next person fills the gap, and it's fine.
And their defense is really, really picking it up. Like they're playing a lot better.
For some reason, they have first drive problems, but after that, they kind of settle in.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Next, you have a big time matchup for the best coach to ever go to Oklahoma. 6:30 NBC. USC takes on Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. A lot of people have been talking down and good about the Fighting Irish. There's a mixture of good and bad, I would say. Some people don't think they're that good. Some people think they're overrated. Some people think they're great, and they look who they lost to. We lost to the number 2 team in the country and the number 4 team in the country, I believe. And I think 13 is a good spot.
Good losses.
Yeah, so
very good losses.
I'm on the side of Notre Dame's not that good. Obviously, they have gotten better. The offense, I mean, I'm not going to lie, CJ Carr has come a long way since the first game. He looks like a great quarterback.
Oh, he looks great right now.
So,
but then it's also like, how's the competition, though?
yeah.
Is it because he's playing,
Yeah. I mean, you do have that. But, the USC going on the road, hostile environment. Can they do it, man? Can they get it done? I mean, they always are they always control these big games and they just blow it. They just blow it. And I felt like that with when he was at Oklahoma, with the exception of the Alabama game in the playoff. Because that was like over in the first half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the exception of that game, like I feel like his teams are in the majority of the games and they just blow it. I would love to see USC win right here, man. I would love it. I think it would be huge for them. It'd be huge for Lincoln. It would be huge for football. It's always cool to just see that Trojan at the top.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen them in the top 10 and a national contender. It's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think Notre Dame is, they got two really good losses, and for them, like the teams they've lost to are both top 5 teams, and the way they lost are one possession games, one being a game-winning touchdown in overtime. But at some point, if they lose to USC, they're done. And for Notre Dame, they have to win this game because you can't, when you play the playoff contenders, keep losing and then still trying. Like, that's not how it works. Like, they got to have some kind of statement win on the resume, and this is the game for them. Lincoln Riley needs to win this game because he was talking in the offseason about it's unfair that we play this Big Ten schedule in the middle of the season. We play Notre Dame and have to travel across the country and this and that. And obviously, like, we got to keep this rivalry around. It's very important for football. But at the same time, for USC, all hope is not lost losing this game because you only have one loss in the Big Ten. However, this is such a resume builder because USC still has to play Nebraska. They still have to play Oregon, So they got some tough teams in conference play that they got to deal with. And if you win this game, it kind of gives you a resume buff and a more margin for error if you do drop some of those games to get into the playoff because you got this Notre Dame win. So it's a massive game for both teams, like you said. And I'm with you. I'd really like USC to win this just because, I'm not too big on Notre Dame, and I just don't like how they can scrape by, lose those games. They have no problem scheduling people, but scrape by, lose those games, beat everybody else, and, beat USC, and then they're going to be in the playoff. They're 10-2. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what's going to happen if they win this game. They'll make the playoff if they win this game. So
you forgot your last part.
I don't know. What was my last part?
You missed Lincoln Riley.
Don't miss that guy at all.
You missed Lincoln Riley.
No, I didn't. No, I like his offense, but don't miss him.
Hey.
That little snake over there.
Hey, it's all right, man. Just saying.
Slithering over there in LA.
All right, I'm just saying. But last but not least, we got another rivalry on our hands, man. 7 o'clock kickoff, Fox. I always forget what this rivalry is called.
The Holy War?
Holy War, thank you. Utah versus BYU, and we were going to BYU. I want to know who's favored in this game right now.
I think
it wouldn't surprise me if it's Utah. I'm gonna be honest.
I wouldn't either. I mean,
it is Utah BYU, 3.5.
BYU almost lost last week against Arizona, which I said was a dangerous game for them.
Well, the only reason I said I wouldn't be surprised if it's Utah is because BYU runs the ball a lot, and I feel like Utah's defense is very good stopping the run.
They're 68th. They're not that good. They're good at pass defense. 11th in pass defense, 68th in rush.
Well, that still makes a pretty good defense in this game.
Yeah, and BYU is 12th in rushing, but 92nd in pass.
See what I mean here? So
Utah's 8th in rushing, and BYU is 23rd in defense.
BYU got cheated last year, right? Wasn't there some controversy?
No,
there?
Utah did.
Utah got cheated. I remember there's some controversy
I think.
there.
Yeah,
because
because BYU won, and that's when we were like BYU wasn't that good, and they ended up losing 2 in a row.
I forgot what
to
happened.
Arizona State and someone else.
The lowest ticket
I think
for this game.
It was a pass interference or some shit. I think that's what it was.
The lowest ticket for this game is $358.
When the state of Utah got 2 good teams, man, this is a massive game. I mean, this is literally the holy war. You got BYU, you got the Mormons, and then I'm sure there's Mormons that go to Utah, but they're like the not Mormon in Utah. Yeah, this is a huge game in the Big 12 because this is a game where BYU can kind of separate themselves and put them up there in that category with Tech. Obviously, I don't think they're as good as Tech, but they'll be unscathed. And Utah, even though they lost to Tech, can pull off another impressive victory. They just beat a ranked team last week. They can win another one this week and kind of control their own destiny to maybe get a chance at that get back against Tech in the Big 12 title. So I would say this is maybe a playoff eliminator. Obviously, both teams will still probably be in contention for the Big 12. Teams are going to lose the way it is, the way that conference is, but it's also the Big 12. I mean, most people are reluctant to say there's going to be 2 teams taken out of this conference for the playoffs. So this is a huge game, huge. And when it's a rivalry game too, with that, the stakes are even higher. I'm excited for this one that we get it late at night. It'll be a good watch. Cause we haven't really had high ranked matches that night yet so far. So
yeah, no, I think this is the perfect. I mean, this is a prime top spot for both of these teams. Check something real quick. Sorry. They. I mean, one is has their season right in front of them with BYU, and then one's fighting to get back into the Big 12, title run. So this is a massive game for both teams, really, because I don't think if BYU wins this game that they're more of on the outside looking in. I feel like a 1-loss Utah team is better than a 1-loss BYU team. But BYU has to go to Iowa State, to Texas Tech, to Cincinnati. Yeah, man. Might be the beginning of the end here. And Utah goes to BYU, plays Colorado, gets Cincinnati at home. They got at Baylor, but Baylor, they're a little suspect, versus Kansas State at Kansas. So I feel like Utah has more of the.
Yeah, they could lose those games.
Well, no, I think Utah can win more of these games than BYU can win their games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think BYU's going to finish the season with like 4 losses, maybe.
Really?
I mean, they play Utah.
I mean, all their wins have been close lately.
Bro, they play Utah. Then they got to go to Iowa State. Then they go to
Tech.
And then they play TCU.
Yeah.
And then they go to Cincinnati.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I would love it because I always think BYU is a team that gets super overrated. Somehow they always find a way to start off good and then
hate them damn Mormons.
Man, they're just overrated to me. But yeah, I would like Utah to win. I like Utah. I like the way they're built. I like what they do. The way they're coached. And it'd be cool to see them play Tech again. If they can make it there.
I think they would want that.
Yeah, it'll be at a neutral site, so Tech already handled them at home. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tech already handled them at home, but it's always nice to get another chance at a team, especially for more on the line. So yeah.
I'll let you knock off this last little list before we give a little sign off here. Got some mid-season true freshman All-Americans.
Yeah, got some mid-season true freshman All-Americans. Want to shout it out. We got 2 players from our schools, Michael Fasusi on the offensive line, and then Grayson Littleton from Texas on DB.
Both
guys have been balling out.
That boy's a killer, man.
Yeah, he's been balling out. He's been a stud, a standout,
Do
starting
you
as a true
think
freshman.
it's harder to be a true freshman defensive back being that good than any other position?
No, but only because it depends. Like corner is like he's like a nickel, so
Yeah.
he has to do more. But like, usually you see freshman corners and receivers kind of merge because the further away from the ball you have, the more responsibility or the less responsibility you have. Um, he plays nickel, so it's definitely a harder position. He's engaged in more run fits, has to cover more, has a lot of more checks and responsibilities. But it's very impressive. Just because he's been out there since day one. He wasn't just it's not like he just started playing and just kind of popped off, kind of like how Eli was last year. He didn't really get going until really the Texas game and put together a good season. But yeah, he's balling out, man, and excited to see where his ceiling is. I feel like I'm curious to see what they do next year when people leave. Do they move him outside, kind of how Jade did? Like I feel like Texas has been doing that. Gilbo was in the inside and they moved him to outside. I feel like that's kind of been what y'all have been doing is getting these players on the field quick and then moving them to the outside as they get older and progress and giving them more opportunities because, at the end of the day, corners get paid more than nickels. It just is what it is, So I definitely feel like he's going to get that opportunity in the future. But Fasusi, balling out, has been playing pretty well. He's been kind of hurt, he's been kind of banged up, but for what he's been having to do, playing that left tackle in the SEC, balled out against Michigan. I thought he played pretty good against Texas for the most part. And he was dealing with Colin Simmons and some other guys, but that's not an easy task for anybody. And he held his own pretty well for the most part. And he's still, learning and progressing. I think he's got a very bright future. I think, Bill said that was his the most talented kid he's ever recruited, and it's showing early. But also on this list, when don't really know too many of the other offensive linemen or D linemen, but Elijah Melendez, we almost got him in recruiting, the linebacker at Alabama, committed to Miami and flipped to Auburn late. Very, very talented dude. He's balling out. You got DJ Pickett on there from LSU. He's a freak athlete, 6'5", runs a 4.2. Super, super good corner at his age. I mean, he definitely will be probably a top 10 pick when it's all said and done. Haven't really watched too much of Bo Jackson at Ohio State, but I'm sure he's balling out. How he just seems like somebody that's just steadily getting his yards. Yeah. Malik Washington, that dude is cold. QB at Maryland. I know people don't watch Maryland football, but I've been seeing him, bro. He's good.
Yeah, he's cold.
And Maryland has a promising future if they can keep that guy around and he doesn't get poached by a bigger program because they can easily build around him.
They have a pretty good team right now.
Yeah, they can easily build around him. He's solid. I mean, very good. I didn't even know he was a freshman. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was older. So that dude is really good. And then the last couple standouts I'm gonna talk about is the receivers: Vernell Brown, Decorian Moore, Malachi Toney. Man, like we say, these receivers fall off trees. All these guys are crazy good. I mean, Dallas Wilson could probably be a candidate as well in here.
He's just been hurt.
He balled out against y'all.
That's the game he came back.
Yeah, that's true. The fact that Florida has two true freshmen on here, or not two, but they could have two, but they have a true freshman on here is insane. That's like, Billy gets fired. Like, do you want to lose some of these guys? But they're balling out. Decorian Moore, he's obviously been a standout. That dude is very different. He's special. I don't know if he's gonna get the opportunities like Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith have gotten him, but he's obviously been very productive for Oregon. And Malachi Toney, saw him against Florida State. He had a couple touchdowns. He could have had 3. They called one back. That dude looks like the fastest player on the football field when he was playing. I mean, he literally looks like Tyreek Hill
running by like against Florida State.
Bro, where's number 10? Like that insane. So yeah, it's exciting to see these freshmen balling out. It'll be cool in the next couple of years when the draft comes alive that we'll see if any of these guys progress or regress. But you always like to see the All-American freshmen stand out, who's on this list, and who's gonna give themselves some opportunities because everyone on this list is at a Power 4 school besides the all-purpose person at North
I
Texas.
was
Which I
gonna
need to.
ask what that meant.
Yeah, let me look at.
all-purpose. What is that?
Yeah, so I guess he's probably like a running back or. Yep, he's a running back. Exactly. Yeah, they kind of just put him on here as like a flex, I guess. Yeah, he has 366 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's from Oklahoma. I don't know how we let him go, but might have to be calling. Might need to get Nagy on the phone. Averages 6.4 a carry.
J9.
And then receiving. Let's look at the receiving stats. 135 receiving stats, 1 touchdown. So already has close to 500 all-purpose yards, 8 touchdowns. As a true freshman in North Texas, I could definitely see this guy being gone somewhere else, just because that's the nature of the business. He probably wasn't recruited high. He went to North Texas. He's putting on a show, so I'm sure he's going to be, maybe looking to potentially move around if he gets opportunities. Because there's going to be some teams looking like that's what this is. This is what that's for. Especially, unfortunately, the name of the business. These teams that these players at the Group of 5 level or Group of 4 level, Group of 5 level. If you're balling out and if you're young, people are going to call you and take a chance to try to bring you in because, and as a player, you got to look at the opportunity, So I'm excited to see where these guys end up, man. That's the name. I'm gonna definitely keep tabs on this guy, Caleb Hawkins. I didn't know who he was, and the fact that he's a freshman doing what he's doing is pretty cool. So
yeah, man. All right, man. That'll do it for our boys over here at 54 yards. We have a great slate ahead of us this week. Cannot wait. Man, like I said, the season's going by too fast, man. It's like you want the good action to get here, but once that good action comes, it's like, bro, whoa, slow it down.
slow it down.
Yeah, man. Week 8, we're due for some bangers. Let's make it a doozy. Go, Texas. Go. Georgia, go. Gamecocks, go.
Look at this guy.
USC, come on, man. We're riding on all those. Moneyline autos, parlay it.
Boomer Sooner, USC, Bama. I'm not even gonna hate, man. I want to see y'all again. So go Texas. Yeah,
Bro,
we'll see what happens, man.
I was thinking about this at the fair. I want a Texas OU playoff game. Like at home.
No, you don't.
No, like somebody hosted.
Toxic.
But somebody hosted
Oh my God, toxic.
That would be fire. That would
insane.
be
Gotta
nuts.
go. We'd have to go.
Would have to
have
go.
to.
That would be so weird.
Have to go. It would be super weird. It would be super weird. And I want like
for it to be at
the
Texas.
traveling would be crazy.
You'd want it for which is down the street. What the hell?
If it was at Texas and we went here, I'd be they'd have to kick me out of DKR. They'd have to ban me.
Oh, so you'll go again.
I might just have to oh yeah, for sure. Walk in your trap, take over your trap, and be like, look, that game was a fluke. This is what happens when John's on point. That's what's gonna happen.
That would be insane. That'd be cool. Maybe we'll see it one year.
It's possible.
It is very possible.
It is very possible now with this playoff format, and if it expands too, I mean, it's gonna happen at some point. I feel like so.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully they don't try to make some stupid rule and no play a neutral site. Nah, hell no. You gotta if you're in the playoff spot, you gotta get your home field.
Yeah, facts.
So.
But I do it from boys over here at 54 yards. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Welcome.
Boomer.